And we are live. We'll give it just a second and let some trickle in because it'll take a second to notify everyone. Okay, well, welcome everybody to another episode of Staying In at Bae Crate. We are coming live every Saturday with you guys with a new set of authors to talk to you about romance. And this week we're talking about love and laughter. Brittany. And that's Taylor who laughed at me. Yeah. Go ahead, Taylor. Okay. We're being joined today by okay. Our thing is out of order. But first we've got over on the far side, I don't know if that's left or right, but we've got Lucy Gilmore. She's the author of the Forever Home series, focusing on finding love with their furry best friend by their side. Puppy Love and Puppy Christmas are available now, and Puppy Kisses releases June 30th. Puppy Love is the first in the Forever Home series, and it follows rough and tough firefighter Harrison Parks as he learns to love his new diabetic service dog, who is a little bit smaller and fluffier than he imagined. Sophie Vasquez runs Puppy Promise with her sisters and sees this as a chance to convince everyone to take her more seriously. Love sparks as Sophie and Harrison work together to train with Bubbles.
Hey. So next we have Magen Vernon, who is below Lucy. Magen has actually published 8 complete series and 6 standalone novels. Aired Lines is her next novel, and it releases May 11th. It follows Natalie as she takes a job in England as a curator for Gavin, the Duke of Webley. This comedy of errors follows the couple from their first snarky email session to clandestine kisses. But will their love survive interfering mothers and socialites?
Then next up, if we move one over in the middle, we have author Abby Jimenez, and she is the best-selling author of The Friend Zone and Happily Ever After Playlist, a Food Network champion and motivational speaker. The Happily Ever After playlist starts when our heroine, Sloane, takes in a lost dog. Weeks later, the owner, Jason, reaches out and definitely wants his dog back. He's a rock star on tour, and the chemistry flies between Sloane and Jason as their long-distance romance blooms. But can their romance survive in the real world?
And finally, we have Anne Harper to the side of Abby. Anne writes romantic comedy that embodies the shenanigans of an I Love Lucy episode with the awkwardness of saying "you too" after the waiter tells you to enjoy your meal. Her first in a new series, Fake It Till You Make It, released April 20th. That was this week. Congratulations. Fake It Till You Make It. Sloane made a mistake with her very private blog, and it has now gone public, very public. In order to save face and land a book deal, she teams up with local bartender Brady for a fake romance. But as we all know, fake romance soon blossoms to the real thing. But keeping secrets in a small town is impossible, and Brady was never meant for that pitch perfect ending. Yeah. So we've got some awesome authors with fantastic books here. Thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So we're gonna jump right into everything. We've already got some people hanging out. Happy Saturday, everyone. Happy Saturday. So we're going to jump right in and go ahead and get started with all these questions because we've got a lot because you guys are pretty awesome and we have lots of things to ask. But the first thing that we're asking everyone is, what would your characters be doing during quarantine? And we can start with Lucy.
Well, I assume that my firefighter hero would probably be out on the front lines. He would not be quarantining at home. He would be doing what he could to help the community. The heroine would be home with her puppies so the service organization they run, they just have a kennel full of puppies that they have to train. And like if I had to be stuck anywhere in the world for quarantine, I think a kennel full of puppies would probably be the best option. So I'd join her there.
That sounds very snuggly. Megan?
So my characters are at a little shanty, like 30,000 square foot castle in England. So they're probably there, which they're probably just hanging out with all the resident dogs and having tea. Like it's probably a hard life for them right now in quarantine.
Probably very hard. I can see how that would be difficult. What about you, Abby?
I think Jason would probably be composing music on his guitar in the living room, and Sloane would be cooking the whole time.
Ooh, that's a really awesome combo.
Yeah.
What about
Music
you?
and food.
My guy, Brady, would do nothing productive. He would try, but he's a bartender, so he made me make new drinks and then probably get on TikTok in a very ironic way and then end up loving it. And then I think Sloane would still be working. She works on her computer at home, so she's fine, but Brady would be in his PJs all day long.
I can relate.
All right, so we are going to go that same route again. Can you guys tell us a little bit about your comedic inspiration for your books, since these are romantic comedies?
Like comedic inspiration?
Comedic inspiration.
I watch a lot of TV and movies, like a lot. Like if you can name the TV show or movie, there's a good chance I've seen it. So I think a lot of my comedy inspiration comes from rom-coms and sitcoms and anything that's got quick wit and fast banter.
Megan?
So mine, I hope she's not watching because I don't want her to get a big head, but my mom has the best comedic timing and inspiration, mainly because she's a Sicilian lady that sometimes doesn't get stuff, especially sarcasm. So just her spot on wit with things is where I get my comedy writing from.
Love that.
I think my moment of inception for the Happy Ever After playlist was watching a viral YouTube video of a guy who was stuck with the dog. And so that was sort of like I thought, wouldn't that be cute if my heroine found somebody's dog and then made that video and sent it to the guy the dog belongs to. So that's where I got my idea.
Love that. Viral videos are always the best.
Mine's Parks and Rec and I Love Lucy and The Nanny. That's pretty much where I get my comedy vibe for everything I ever write. You can't go wrong with any of those, and I Love Lucy. Just across the board for me. So that's where I get all mine. Or try.
Okay, so let's switch it up and go backwards. And we'll start with Anne this time and then go around. What's your favorite scene from your book?
Okay, so this is so embarrassing. I wrote this huge book, and I was like, I'm going to get one scene I really like from the two main characters, because, that makes sense. But my favorite scene has to do with a secondary character and his obsession with providing free tampons to the patrons of the bar. And he spends the entire book in the background trying to find the perfect tampons to put out for the customers to really like. And it becomes this little heroic journey where in the background, he just literally is in the back with different boxes complaining about the prices. And there's one scene in particular where he finally sits down, the main character, and he goes on this rant about how expensive tampons are. And it's just, even my beta readers were like, dude, that's hilarious. And I can't get past it. So it's tampons and with this secondary character and not even there's other fun scenes, but to me, that was just gold.
I love that. Abby?
So, okay, you guys cut out a little bit, but I think you're asking what's my favorite scene in the book. Okay. Probably when Sloane gets somebody hits on her. They threaten to sing "You've Lost That Loving Feeling" to her if she won't give the guy her number. She doesn't give the guy her number, and he ends up singing to her. And I think that's my favorite chapter in the whole book because Jason's on the phone with her when it happens, so he hears the whole thing and he can't stop laughing. So I that's my favorite one. Chapter 15.
Megan?
So in this book, they're at a lord's estate in England, And I volunteer at the dog rescue and have a bunch of foster dogs. So I decided that the Lord needed sounds weird saying the Lord. Lord Gavin needed to adopt a bunch of dogs. So it's just a scene going at a pet store and him adopting like a dozen dogs. So that was my favorite to write, to put in all the dogs in my organization, getting their characters in.
The dogs were awesome. We have a lot of dogs today, by the way, guys.
Yeah. I'm a cat person. Does that mean I need to leave?
Cats are funny too. Cats are funny.
Yeah. What about you, Lucy?
My favorite scene is probably the dog in this one is like this little tiny skittish Pomeranian, and it's kind of cold where the hero is living at the time, and so he wants to warm the dog up because she's just shivering the way Pomeranians do. So he takes one of his favorite sweat-wicking firefighter socks and cuts holes in it, and like a head hole and then little leg holes, and then he kind of just shoves the dog inside of it to keep her warm, and then she ends up loving it, and it starts his whole plan to he starts knitting the dog clothes because she just preens and prances around feeling fancy.
Oh my gosh, that is precious.
Firefighter with his tiny dog knitting.
I love it. And the dog's name is Bubbles, right?
Bubbles, yes. It was the proofiest name I could think of.
I love it. So I wanted to ask you guys, what beverage would you pair with your book?
We can start with Anne again.
Sweet tea across the board. Favorite drink and to the South.
Abby, I don't know if you heard, you cut out a little bit. I was asking what beverage you would pair with your book.
Yeah, I'm getting terrible reception for some reason. It would be a grande Starbucks vanilla latte because that's Sloane's favorite drink in the book, for sure.
I love that. It's definitely one I grab a lot. Megan?
So I guess I'll be the alcoholic here. I go with the Pim's cup. They drink that in the book, and then I tried to look up something else instead of Pimm's to get for myself to drink, and there's not really a substitute, so got to hunt down some Pimm's before May 11th.
I think mine would just be tepid tap water because the hero always prides himself on eating just plain chicken breast and needing nothing out of life, so he probably just drinks it straight out of the tap.
I love that.
All right, so next up we have a lightning round, and with a lightning round, what it is they're quick questions that are either a quick answer or it's would you rather type things, and you're just supposed to pop out the first answer that comes to your head. We can start with Lucy and then kind of make our way around. And there are 6 of them in the first round, and we have more for later. So first lightning round. What is your number 1 song on your quarantine playlist?
Probably Despacito, just because it. Yep.
Megan?
I love that
song. Does the Animal Crossing music count?
It always counts.
No, I'm just hearing it in my head.
Abby, what's your number 1 song on your quarantine playlist?
My book actually has a playlist. The Happy Ever After playlist has a playlist that goes with the book and a song on each chapter. So I'd have to say my number 1 song would be the song on chapter 1, which is In the Morning by Paramore.
Ooh, that's a good one. What about you, Anne?
So this isn't really the right answer, but I have Pandora with 80s music. And so literally the entire book was written to 80s music. My life is 80s music. I just destroy my husband when I turn on 80s music when I get up. So it's just a smattering of all 80s music all the time.
Okay. Would you rather be able to smell food from the TV or taste it? Lucy?
Taste. No calories, right?
No calories.
Then yes.
Megan?
Taste. I agree.
Taste.
Taste.
Okay.
Across the board.
Favorite comedian? Lucy?
Sorry, I didn't get that one.
Favorite comedian?
Oh, that's really hard. The guy who looks with the perfect face, John Mulvaney, is that his name?
Yeah, he got a good face. That could be him. Megan?
I'm gonna have to go with Leslie Knope herself, Amy Poehler.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Chris D'Elia for me. I love him. He's so funny.
Yeah.
Dimitri Martin. He makes normal stuff very funny.
Yeah. What is your favorite quote, Lucy?
From anything?
Yeah, anything. Your head.
I hate writing. I love having written.
Okay, Megan.
This is from Libba Bray's Beauty Queens. It's always darkest before the ultimate sparkle.
That's really good.
I like
Liver Bray.
Mine would probably be that hoping is not a strategy. I don't know where that came from, but that's my favorite saying.
And
Hold on to your butts from Jurassic Park. I almost got it in a tattoo, so I didn't though. But favorite quote, hands down.
Love that.
okay, would you rather no ice cream or no wine?
No ice cream.
No wine. I like ice cream.
Abby?
I missed the question. Sorry, you guys cut out.
No ice cream or no wine?
Oh, no wine. I can live without wine.
I don't like either one because I am a freak. So I don't know how to answer neither for me.
Okay. Favorite rom-com movie?
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Yes.
I don't know if it's qualified as a rom-com, but I'm going with it. Dogma.
That's a good
Chance
one.
I don't love.
I think mine is Fool's Rush In. I've been thinking about that one a lot lately. So cute.
That's a good one.
Yeah, mine's While You Were Sleeping with Sandra Bullock.
So excellent.
All right. Well, we've gotten through all of the kind of general questions, but we have some questions that are specific to all of you. So it'll be like a question directed straight to one author. So we're going to switch over to that format now.
So my first one is for Abby. There's a dog. I love a dog-instigated meet cute. You already kind of answered this, but what inspired you to write puppy-induced just absolute mayhem?
Well, I actually write a dog in all of my books. That's kind of my thing. And so since we already talked about this one, in my next book, there's a geriatric rescue chihuahua named Harry Puppins. And in my first book, The Friend Zone, there's actually wrote my real life teacup Yorkie into the book. His name is Stuntman Mike. So I write dogs into all my books. I love dogs.
I love that.
And our next question is for Anne. Fake It Till You Make It takes place in a small town, which is one of my personal favorite book settings because I'm from a small town. What was the most difficult part about creating this world?
Trying not to offend anyone who I know who acts like people in the book. Making sure I didn't base it too closely off of my small town and the people in it. I had to check myself a lot, like, ooh, I shouldn't put that secret in because it's real. So just trying not to offend anyone around here.
That's probably hard with a small town because it's small.
So Lucy, I adore the story's concept. Again, it's puppies plus romance equals true love. How were you inspired to write a sister trio running a dog training school?
So I wasn't. My publisher said we'd like sisters, we'd like service puppies, and we would like it to be in the setting. And I said, okay.
I love that.
Oh, that's me. It's me. Sorry. Megan, the next question is for you. Aired Lines takes place in a small English village. What was your favorite bit of research while creating this town?
So I watched a lot of Secrets of Great British Castles, which if you've never watched it, it's on Netflix, and Dan Jones is one sexy morsel of a Tim Tam of a man. So watching him as he takes off his leather jacket, showing his tattooed arms as he explains history, was a lot of fun to watch over and over again. I recommend it.
So Abby, the Happy Ever After playlist actually starts out with a swoon-worthy long-distance romance. And this is a trope I'm forever a sucker for, that we don't see that often. But of course, you actually have to let them have their dark moment before they can reach that happily ever after. What was the hardest part for you about breaking up Sloane and Jason?
I don't know that I will ever write another insta-love, because it's like they're already in love and then you have to break them up rather than keep them apart, make them fall in love, and then they get together at the end. It was a tough trope to write. I think the hardest part was making it so perfect and making it believable that they could fall in love that quickly, and then having to undo it all so that they couldn't be together until the end. So that was the hardest part. I won't ever write one again, I think.
Did you cry when doing it? Because I would just fall apart. Can I be this evil?
Sorry, you guys are cutting out so bad. I don't know if you're talking to me or not.
That's okay. I just said, did you cry? Because I would fall apart having to do that.
I did cry, yes, when I had to break them up. There's one very sad scene in the later part of the book, and I did cry, yeah.
Next is for Anne. Before you wrote romantic comedy, you wrote romantic suspense, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
A lot.
Yeah. It's a total 180 genre-wise. Can you tell us a little bit about that transition and that?
Well, usually in my romantic suspense, there's a part in the middle where I forget how to write. And so usually that's when I decide to put a dead body somewhere and then have someone shoot at someone. And so when I was writing romantic comedy, you can't really do that as much when you hit the middle part. So I did sit there and try to figure out how to put a dead body in there without making it romantic suspense, and you just can't. So that's the only thing that's really hard for me is I go from really dark and intense and murdery stuff to, saying penis a lot and sex jokes, and it's just a little different. You just got to kind of train the brain. I'll watch a few rom-coms and that helped me switch a little bit. So it's still a struggle.
Taylor?
Yes. So Lucy, your family dynamics with both the sisters and their significant others are so well written. How do you craft such layered and meaningful relationships outside of the central romance without having it kind of overwhelm the whole story?
I kind of think that I prefer the other relationships to the romantic relationship, which probably isn't something a romance author should say, but because you don't have the burden of making them fall in love in there, you could have a whole range of other emotions and feelings. So you can have the sibling that you love but also kind of hate, and the same with the parent. And you can have people with bigger character flaws, I think, than you can with the hero and heroine, because there's more leeway, because it doesn't always have to be neat and tidy by the end. I like to let people be messy.
Because people are messy.
Yeah, we are. We're pretty messy.
Sorry, there's a fly.
So Megan, with airlines, you took the boss employee almost taboo trope and made it a lighthearted and funny story. And I like this twist a lot. How were you inspired to turn the trope on its head?
So this actually came from, I wasn't inspired to write anything for a while after I wrote The Murphy Brothers, which takes place in Ireland. And my publisher said I'd really like something that took place in England, with some royalties, some lords. And I said,
dramatic pause. Yeah.
Said what?
Megan? Okay. I think Megan is lost for the moment.
That fly.
Did the fly get her?
The fly got her, man. Quarantine.
I don't know. So
I heard her. You want to go to a new question and then we'll come back to
Yes.
back?
Let's circle back. So this one's for Abby. Outside of writing, you have fame as an award-winning baker. Like a lot of people, I fell absolutely head over heels for the Veggie cake. What's your favorite thing you've ever baked?
Oh gosh. Well, probably not the Vegeode.
That was a total accident.
The Vegeode was an accident. I'd have to say probably my favorite thing I've ever baked would be the cheesecake that I won Cupcake Wars with, just because it's brought me like untold amounts of happiness. People love that cupcake. It's our best-selling cupcake. It's the best one in the shop. So I'd have to say that's probably my favorite. But I did have fun with the Vegeode. That was a lot of fun.
Your customer service response to that was top notch. Like, I died laughing and immediately bought your book when it came out after that.
Thank you.
So next we're back to Anne. You mentioned that your books have an I Love Lucy style humor to them. And I watched the show a lot growing up. What was your favorite I Love Lucy episode and why?
I actually had a hard time narrowing it down, but I'll go with one of the most known ones. It's where Lucy does a TV commercial where she has to sell that vitamin. I can't say it. The vitamin of Vegemin thing, and she gets drunk on set because she keeps messing up, and she has to keep drinking it. And that to me was hilarious. It's just her drunk, trying really hard to do a commercial, and it was just hilarious to me. To this day, I still can't say that word, but I try.
Is it Vegemite?
Vitavita. Vitavita.
What she did?
What?
Yeah, it makes you feel drunk trying to say it. I can't. Vitamin.
Did you watch Schitt's Creek?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of did like a redo of that episode.
And
she's
Moira.
when Moira's doing the commercial for the wine company.
Yeah, she just gets completely tanked trying to say this one thing.
And I honestly didn't even make that connection until you just started talking about it. And I was like, oh gosh.
It's hilarious. It's just normal people trying to do normal stuff while completely drunk. I love it.
So my next question is for Lucy. Lucy, you've mentioned that you are mom to 2 Akitas. Have you always been a dog person?
I have. I am not a small dog person. I'm a big dog person. As the 2 Akitas kind of attest. So it's really hard to write little dogs because I know there's lots of little dog owners in this chat right now. I don't really like them. They're small and they vibrate, but yeah.
It's my favorite thing.
I'll just suffocate you.
Welcome back, Megan.
My internet went out randomly in the middle of this. We live out in the country in Texas in a town of 800 people. So just yelling to my husband, who I don't know if he had pants on or not, was running, trying to get me.
We were really afraid the fly got you because it was right after that. We were like, no.
The fly got me.
Where is everyone located?
I'm in Alabama.
Yeah.
I'm in
Minnesota.
I'm in Washington State, but on the side that's touching Idaho.
And
Alabama.
I am also in Alabama. Shocking. Let's see. We did not get the answer from we stopped. You said he said, and then it just froze. So we can go back to that for you. just so that we can get that one. But with aired lines, you took the boss employee taboo trope and made it lighthearted and funny, and we wanted to know how you were inspired to turn it around.
I don't know how much was recorded, so I'll just go through the spiel again. I had finished the Murphy Brothers series, which took place in Ireland, and my editor at Entangled, the publisher, said, I want a book that takes place in England with royalty. Said, I've got nothing. So I was watching Queer Eye, and there was a man who inherited his great aunt's house, but he did nothing to it. Like, it was still had all her old decor and stuff. So I texted my editor and I said, what if an English lord inherits his great aunt's castle and he needs to hire someone to come out and like curate the pieces and clean it? She goes, well, you had me at castle. So that's where that came from.
All right, Taylor.
All right. So we have one more for Megan. Balancing parenting and working is hard for every parent everywhere. Balancing parenting and working from home during a pandemic is insane. What have you found to help you manage doing all the things and stay creative?
Alcohol.
I can relate.
Well, we've gone a little crazy, as we call it in quarantine. I decided to foster more dogs because, setting a bunch of dogs. I think the biggest thing that I've had to learn is my husband says we're all on island time. Like, time doesn't really exist right now, like when you're on the island. So, like, if the kids' homework isn't getting done right at a certain time in the morning, like, it doesn't matter. We're doing that at 7 at night, or you're having a drink at noon. Like, it's all island. That's what I've had to keep in mind with everything is, okay, I can't keep my schedule, but I can do, time doesn't matter.
I think that time has been off for us, but then also I have no idea what day it is until someone tells me it's Friday and it's time to start doing a live. So I just don't know where we are or what time it is or what day it is or how long we've been here, and my scratch marks on the wall have faded. So I
realized at about noon yesterday we missed a whole day of school, and I have no idea how I did that. And so we did 2 days at once yesterday. And I thought I was going to get killed by a 6-year-old. So we have another lightning round. Are you guys ready? We will start with Lucy and go around. So just in the pictures you see yourself. Question 1, dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Dogs.
Cats.
Dogs.
All right. Cake or cupcake?
Cake, because there's more of it.
Cupcakes, because then you can have more than one flavor.
Cake.
Cheesecake.
Billionaire or Duke?
Can he be both?
Not in this day and age.
Both is always an answer.
Probably a Duke. I don't like any billionaires.
Billionaire, so he could give me some cash.
I'm going to go with Lucy and go with both.
Both is always accepted. Small town or big city?
Small town.
Big city.
Small town.
Small town.
Bartender or fireman?
Fireman.
Fireman.
Bartender.
Fireman.
I love how we keep having one holdout. It's making me smile so much.
Sorry, guys.
I love it. And it's a different person each time. It's fantastic. What's your favorite emoji, the heart eyes or the laughing till crying?
Laughing till crying.
Laughing till crying.
Laughing till crying.
I'm just going to be different and go hard eyes.
So tropes, long distance or forced proximity?
Forced proximity.
Forced proximity.
Forced proximity.
Forced proximity.
Oh.
I love forced proximity. Sorry, I had to throw it away.
Oh, I thought the fly got you. I was like, dang, this fly.
It's a stuffed animal.
Oh man. So we're done with all of our questions. So if there is anybody that has any questions, we can take a couple of those really quickly before we wrap things up. We'll have to give it a second.
I think there was one before we started.
Oh, right. Hold on one second. I'll go back to that one. All right. My favorite question to ask: have you ever changed the name of a character after starting to write the story?
Are we starting with me?
Yeah, we can start with you. Sorry. Go ahead, Lucy.
I do it all the time. I change character names, I change places, I change, entire tropes and settings. So yes, it happens all the time.
I've never done it with a main character, just side characters.
I accidentally name people with the same first letter. So I have like 5 people who start with B and then realize it's too hard. So I usually go back and have to change a bunch of characters' names for whatever reason. I do that every single book.
Well, B is a good letter to start with. So
There you go.
Megan?
I've realized I use the name Ashley Amber for just any random blonde character is Ashley Amber. So, in multiple books, I found out I used that name. Like, well, I got to stop using Ashley Amber.
Hey, what is your favorite form of self-care while writing?
Oh, somebody already said alcohol for another answer, but I'm
Yes.
I think for me, it's snacks.
What kind of snack?
What kind of snack?
It depends. Whatever I feel like eating. Just have to stay fed.
Yeah.
Excellent answer.
Yeah. Coffee and chocolate are even for me. I need to have both at all times.
Megan?
The good coffee and creamer, not like the Great Value brand creamer. Like I go all out and get the coffee mate if I'm writing. Yeah. It's important.
If you could Freaky Friday your main character, what do you think they would be up to? I guess switch bodies with your main character, or your main character switch bodies.
I mean, the hero's gonna feel himself up for most of
That's
it.
it.
Is there any
I know that has to be a thing.
Yeah.
I think Sloane would probably try on Jason's voice for a few minutes. He's got an impressive range.
Yeah, I'm with the definitely he would fill himself up, and then she'd be like, stop doing that, and then she'd probably go like pee on a tree somewhere just to say she did it. 100%.
Have you ever seen the GIF of the baby elephant with their trunk doing?
The helicopter.
Yes, definitely do that.
Oh man. Okay. How do you choose the narrators for your audiobooks if you are able to choose them? And are you able to choose them?
I've never been able to choose mine. They just get assigned, so it's the roll of the dice for me.
I have always gotten to pick mine, and I got my first pick for the Happy Ever After playlist, which was Zachary Weber and Aaron Mallon, and it's really good.
I have one of my Harlequins is an audiobook, but I did not get to pick.
So, shameless self-promo here. So the audiobook just went live for pre-order. And the funny thing about this was my agent actually called me up and she goes, okay, you get your choice of some of these narrators. And I was like, I'm on the phone right now. And she goes, well, hang up the phone and call me back. She said, how do you feel about Shane East? And if you've heard of Shane East, he's like the British male unicorn. So, and he actually, if you go to any of my social media right now, he did one little clip so that I could share it saying, do I make you nervous? And it's,
Ooh.
it's awesome.
I gotta go, guys. I gotta go pre-order.
And we just all those Audible credits.
I don't have the audiobook link in there, but you should be able, it takes you to Amazon. So
yeah, it's all linked up with the ebook and paperback. But that was, I guess it wasn't really choosing him, but they said, do you want to use him? I said, yes, I do. Yes, Shaniacs, I joined that group.
I didn't know there was a group, but now I do. Okay, last question, and then we can wrap things up. Would you rather your books be turned into a TV show or a movie, and then why?
I think it would depend on the book. Some of the books could be drawn out for like a long time for a whole series, and some of them you would get really tedious really fast. So for Puppy Love, I think it would make a better movie.
I agree with that. I think movie for sure, just because the book wraps up so well at the end. I mean, how would you draw that out? You know, you can't. Like, it's done.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, mine would be a TV show. Mine's heavily Heart of Dixie vibe, and that was fun to watch. And I think I have enough secondary characters, and the main two get in so much weird situations. I think I could see it as a TV show.
A lot of my early reviews are saying they'd like it to be a Hallmark or BBC movie. So if anyone's watching from there and just wants to throw a bug in someone's ear.
We'll make sure we let them know.
Thanks.
But that's pretty much all that, well, hold on. We have one more.
That's my dad. Just to let everybody.
I definitely
Hi, Dad.
Oh my gosh.
Which actor or actress would you want to portray the characters from your latest book? It could have been worse.
I can't remember the name. I based my heroine off of an actress / singer, and I can't for the life of me remember her name now. She did a lot of Disney stuff, opposite Demi Lovato. What is her name?
Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez, yeah.
Gomez.
For me, it would be Teresa Palmer and bearded Chris Evans.
Well, I'm disappointed my dad asked the one question I don't have an answer to, because I did not think like that. But I guess because I just always feel Heart of Dixie. The lady in Heart of Dixie, the main chick, the
Rachel Bilson.
Yeah, no. Just her basically for everything. I don't have one for the guy. Thanks, Dad. I was doing so well until the end. Look at hi.
I did. Sorry. I had
My dad doesn't have Facebook, thank goodness. Mine would be Armie Hammer for my Lord Gavin, he was the Winklevoss twins in the Facebook movie. What was that called? Social Network. And then for my heroine is Madeline Pesht. I think that's how it's pronounced. She's Shara Blossom in Riverdale. So I watched way too much of that show, and now it's just jumped the sharks. Sorry, Riverdale fans, it has.
All right. Well, I think that wraps us up for today. Thank you guys so much for joining us and talking to us. We've had a lot of fun. And I've already started some of your books, and some of you have already read, but I am trying to work through all of them, and I'm very excited to get finished with all of them because I'm so excited about them. And if you guys are excited about them too, make sure that you check out the description because we've got links to all their books. You need to go and get them because you don't want to miss out. FOMO is a thing. And you want to follow them, give them a like, and keep up with what they're coming out with next, because they've all got some pretty awesome things coming in the future, as well as what they've already got. Yeah. So make sure you do that, and make sure you check out all of our social medias, because we've got giveaways from all of them that are going to be posted pretty soon. And not only do you get to read some of the awesome stuff, but you get them for free if you win. So with that being said, we're going to say goodbye. All right, guys.